Hello all of you wonderful individuals, and welcome back to another video for the day. We are heading back into r/AmITheDevil, and if you guys would like to be absolutely amazing, show your support, and see more of these storytime format videos like these ones in the near future, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below to start up them wholesome internet discussions, and if you guys have not already, subscribe to the channel and turn on them notifications. Let me know down below if there's one of those storytime format subreddits that you would like to see me cover in the future. I might actually pick one out and, let's give it a shot. Also, if you guys would like to save 10% on your next order of gamer subs, use code Tommy at checkout or click the link down below. It will automatically apply it to your transaction and it helps support the channel. Am I the a-hole for not dressing in a black tie for my girlfriend's Christmas party? I, 21M, and my girlfriend, 22F, have been dating for nearly a year now. She studies at a university in a different city to me, and so we've been long distance for a significant part of our relationship. I finished university last year, but she has one more year to go. So I am living at home and working 2 jobs while she finishes her studies. We obviously don't get to see each other very often, so when we do, it is a really special time. Last week, I was missing her a lot, and decided to surprise her with a weekend visit. I booked a flight, and with just a small cabin bag to save on costs and packed only the essentials, t-shirts and underwear, and some small gifts I'd been collecting for her over the semester. I coordinated with her friend who loved the idea and told me about a Christmas soiree, a black tie party, planned for that night I'd arrive. Here's where things went wrong. I didn't wear a tux to the party. After nearly a day of working and traveling, I just wanted to be comfortable and just didn't feel like dressing up fancy. So, on my train from the airport, I put on a black dress t-shirt with a literal black tie as a funny nod to the theme, while still being slightly more comfortable. When I arrived, her friend let me in, and my girlfriend seemed happy to see me. She hugged me and asked why I was there, and I told her that me and her friend had hatched this plan for me to crash the party. She then got upset at her friend for not making sure I knew to dress up. I jumped in immediately and told her that I was told about the party, but decided not to dress up fancy because I was packing light and didn't want to have to be uncomfortable while traveling. Then she started to flip out at me. I tried to reassure her that it wasn't a big deal. It was just a party and no one cared that I wasn't dressed up. This made her even more mad, and she accused me of invalidating her feelings and ruining her night by embarrassing her in front of all of her friends. I tried to keep a level head during all of this, but then she did something that tipped me over the edge. She took the flowers that I had brought her, threw them on the floor, and stomped on them, completely trashing them. Admittedly, I lost it. I told her that she was being a disrespectful AH for how she reacted, that I had put so much time and effort into this trip, and that she was being crazy for expecting even more out of me. She argued that I was holding the effort I had put in over her, and that I dismissed her feelings by not putting in just a little more effort to dress appropriately. I told her that she was being childish and immature over something so small, and she stormed out. Her housemate told me it was probably best for me to leave, so I went to stay with my brother who also lives in her city. She hasn't spoken to me since, despite multiple attempts on my part to contact her. So, am I the a-hole? I know dressing up wouldn't have been that hard, but I thought my effort to visit her would matter more. Yeah, you can't do a whole surprise visit thing and then justify that as like, oh yeah, I'm gonna straight up ignore the dress code of this thing I want to go to surprise my significant other at. There's a time and place for everything, and a black tie formal event is very much not one of them. And like you said, it wouldn't have been that hard for you to just go along and get the right suit for it. If you really wanted to and you didn't want to have to bring anything with you, odds are there are places where you can actually rent a tux, like frickin' Men's Warehouse or something like that. Part of me is a little surprised the friend even let you in the event with the regular, mockery t-shirt anyway. My father ruined us. How can I, 40M, make her, 34F, stay? My GF, 34F, has given me an ultimatum. Move my ill father into professional care, rebuild our finances, and create a future together ASAP, or she is leaving. But she believes it's already too late to fix everything before she turns 35. I suggested moving to cheaper places, but she also refuses to leave Los Angeles, as it would mean sacrificing her career that she worked really hard for. 5 years ago, my girlfriend and I moved in together in Los Angeles, and everything was great. Until my father, 78M, from New York, unexpectedly moved in with us right before the pandemic. He has severe health issues: spinal injury, prostate cancer, dementia, and OCD. And I couldn't bring myself to send him away to strangers because he has never been away from family. Caring for him has consumed my life and finances, and it's taken a toll on my girlfriend's mental health. She was incredible in the beginning: kind, caring, an amazing cook. She also had extensive knowledge about elder care and the nutritional needs for both my father and me. But being exposed to the constant stress, last-minute emergencies, and me yelling at my father in a foreign language has ruined her peace. We can't travel without paying extra for a caregiver and worrying about him. And she always gets depressed returning to our apartment knowing what awaits us. I tried to convince my father to live with my sisters, but he refused too, and they also didn't want him. It's not fair. The only way to ease my girlfriend's burden was by moving us to a larger, more expensive apartment to create some distance between my father and her. But the stress hasn't gone away. Over time, she has developed resentment and has started verbally attacking me over my family's failures. Recently, she told me she is terrified of turning 35 and blames my father for ruining her chances to get married and have kids. She began asking about my finances and became angry and depressed after learning the full extent of my financial situation. Our finances are as follows. Hers, 34F, earns $110,000 at a demanding but fulfilling on-site job, has a $150,000 worth in retirement savings, and $100,000 in cash. She pays 1/3 of the rent and groceries. Me earns 40M, at $165,000 remotely, but only have $50K in retirement savings and $20,000 in cash. I pay 2/3 of our expenses, including all of my father's medical bills. My father has $400,000 from selling his house, but I haven't touched it because he might owe back taxes. And I want to save it as a last resort if he has to enter a nursing home at the cost of $10,000 a month. She has urged me for years to apply for Medi-Cal, claim tax breaks, invest in the $400,000, or use that money to buy a house for ourselves. But I've neglected all of these steps. She's even pushed me to consult with lawyers, social workers, and nursing homes, but I could never follow through, and everything just fell apart. She says my inaction over the past 5 years and my lack of financial literacy have been deeply disappointing. She also thought I was in a better financial position than her, at least when it came to retirement savings. Where things stand now, this year has been especially hard. My father's health was worsened, requiring even more constant care. He needs assistance almost every hour to go to the bathroom and makes a mess. We've hired a caregiver for $4,000 a month, but his $3,000 pension only partially covers the cost. So I do the most of the caretaking. I'm exhausted from managing his care, my T1D, work, and household chores. I haven't had proper sleep in months, which is worsening my mental health and eroding the last bit of empathy my girlfriend has left for me. I love my girlfriend and want to marry her, but I feel like her expectation is too high and overreacting because her birthday is right around the corner. How do I calm her down? There are millions of people in worse situations than us, but she is so angry at me for not doing enough and not having enough. I don't even know where to start. I'm drowning under the weight of my responsibilities, and I can't meet all her expectations. How do I use the $400,000 plan for a house in LA, where the average is $1.2 million, and still care for my father? What can I do to make her stay? How do I fix my life before it's too late? TLDR, my father, 78M, moved into our apartment before the pandemic and my girlfriend, 34F, and I, 40M, have been living together in LA for 5 years. Due to my father's severe health issues, it has strained our relationship. She's overwhelmed with the constant stress of caregiving, my financial mismanagement, and the toll it's taken on my future plans. She's given me an ultimatum to fix everything, or she is leaving, but I'm struggling to meet her expectations while managing my father's care and finances. Is there any way that I can save this relationship? Update. Thank you for all of your voices. It really helps me realize the damage I've done. My father ruined us. Those are actually my girlfriend's words, not mine. She has developed a deep hatred for my father, and to some extent, for me. Lately, she has been verbally attacking me almost every day. I feel incredibly guilty and sorry for the bad decisions that I've made. I've tried nearly everything to comfort her. I've always gone out of my way to make her feel special. Celebrating important days, giving her favorite gifts, taking her out to dinner, and handling all of the chores. I even took on the full responsibility of caring for my father to create boundaries for her. I barely leave our apartment, managing both a full-time job and all of the chores except for the occasional grocery trips. I'm the youngest in the family, and the only son. Growing up, I never learned how to be financially independent or how to prepare for the future. All I really learned was how to be nice to people. My mom left my dad at the age of 70 to live with my sister, and I lost my older sister to cancer last year. I couldn't bear the thought of losing my father too, especially when he was in such poor health. Initially, he was given only a few months to live, but with my care and effort, his condition has improved significantly. As a result, he is no longer eligible for hospice care, and has even encouraged me to use his funds to start a new life with my girlfriend. Recently, I opened a high-yield savings account to transfer his funds. I also took a day off to start applying for benefits, but I'm unsure where to begin since he only has a New York driver's license and no other documents. How long would it take to get everything in order? However, my girlfriend has been feeling depressed again, especially after watching videos of other people who seem to be doing better than us. Yesterday, she suddenly started crying and refused to even look at me. She worked all night and began mumbling things like, "There's no hope," and "We'll never catch up." It hurts so much to see her like this, and I'm really worried about her. I keep telling her I can work more and take more money to catch up, but she is being pessimistic and negative. I don't know what to do to make her feel better. I need more time and money to resolve all my problems. Yes, but don't worry, just chalk it up to your girlfriend overreacting because her birthday is right around the corner. Yeah, no, great job on that. From what it looks like, you've been given multiple options, but very much you don't want to do any of that because it involves money. I ruined my wife's life. Warning: infidelity, lying, and abandonment. So, to start, me, M26, and my wife, F28, were happily married for 6 years, and I was the only one making decent money, $120,000 to $200,000, while she was a stay-at-home parent with our daughter, F5. One day, after coming back early as my engine went out on the way to work, and a friend dropped me off back at home, I caught her cheating while I was supposed to be out with our daughter and was at preschool. After some yelling at my friend to get out, not the friend that dropped me off, and yelling at her, she started crying and apologized, saying it was a mistake. I calmed myself down and went with the flow. I told her I need some time to think and left. A few days go by of her checking up on me at my mom's house, and she tells me that she'll wait however long it takes for me to forgive her, and also says that we should do marriage counseling. I agree and tell her I think we can get through this, but really in my mind, I'm trying to figure out what to do next, and I'm already emotionally checked out from her. So, a year goes by, but throughout the year, I've done a lot of, withdrawing the money from my bank. I have 2 accounts, one for myself and one for both of us, but she still knows about my separate one. I've also downgraded our house significantly. We used to have a 3,000 square foot house, and the rent was about $3,400 a month, but I took us down to an apartment costing 1.1-ish, and I also forced her to get a job to pay for the place/counseling. Anyways, after getting all the money out, I got my mom, who has a Mexican citizenship, to let me use one of her houses in Mexico and the address line to open a bank/a Binance account. And I dump all of my money in there under her name to go get a lawyer. After setting everything up, I show back home and lay down the divorce papers in front of my wife and tell her that we are done. She starts with I thought we were doing well, and I told her, we didn't cheat. You did. And I left home with my mom until the court days come, and everything she is visiting while trying to convince/seduce me into coming home. But eventually the day comes, but before I go, I sell my car for what few thousand that I can get, and I have my mom drop me off. A few things happened that really made matters a lot harder than I expected. For example, she knows that I have my own bank account separate from our joint, but I also knew that she knew, so I obviously made that aware as to not get in trouble. But that introduced another problem. I made $200,000 a year. They knew this from my taxes, but I have only about $4,000 in my account from selling my car when I should have another $1 million in there. Anyways, the court pretty much demanded to know where the money went, and I told them that my girlfriend, not my wife, was an expensive girl, and that was in terms of court. After my ex-wife doesn't believe that I have another girl since I'm always with my daughter when I'm not working, so she tries to get a financial advisor, but she was going to charge around $20,000 to $50,000 depending on what he had to do. Now, believe it or not, between paying for the apartment, our daughter, and counseling, yeah, after she cheated, I pretty much used that as a get out of doing whatever I wanted to do card. She didn't actually have enough money for one, so she took out a loan and borrowed from her parents to get one, which actually kind of scared me, but I guess he couldn't find anything, which really backfired as now she has to raise a kid and pay for her own place/vehicle, etc. on a team lead salary. I'd assume around $22 an hour. But not all is well yet, as I was still ordered by the American court, foreshadowing, to pay her $7,400 a month out of the $12,000 I make due to alimony plus child support. And she tells me that's more than enough for her to live without me, and she can quit her job. And she's right, but not really, as I tell her that I swear on my life that she wouldn't get a penny out of me. And well, she didn't. I moved to Thailand, which costed a bit more than $100,000 US, but I couldn't stay for 15 years on it, which would probably make back in a year. Anyways, I call my ex and let her know that I'm not in America anymore, and that she should really consider getting her job back. I wasn't trying to be cocky, and I know this is going to sound very hypocritical, but I didn't want my daughter to end up homeless. My ex-wife gets rightfully pissed and tells me that she won't manage without me and starts begging on the phone, saying how she's changed for me and all of that. After that, I'm getting call after call. Most are saying they'll miss me since I won't be able to come back because I'm wanted in America for child support, but some were obviously pissed off that I had abandoned my wife and child. To them, I uploaded on my Facebook the pictures of my wife with my friend that she was cheating on me with, which turns out he had a girlfriend as well who called me asking why I didn't tell her sooner, to which I said I didn't even know she existed. That was 2 years ago, and as far as I've heard, she's doing pretty terrible and had to give up our daughter to her parents while paying them child support, as they didn't even want to care for her. Her parents blame her for everything, which probably wouldn't be happening if I didn't often spend time with her dad, and after I found out my daughter was with them, which was a little over 4 months after I left her. I did start paying her mom $1,000 a week to help a bit, but I did also ask that they not tell my ex. I even get my sister to check up on them, as I really don't want my ex getting a penny. TLDR, wife cheated on me, and I hid all my money and left my daughter and wife with nothing and $50,000 in debt. Some extras that I didn't fit in. The reason I paid $120,000 to $200,000 was because at the start of our marriage, I was making $100,000 a year after taxes. But I was investing most of that into an ETF that was increasing the money I put in about 10% a year, which I still live off in Thailand without working. My ex is pretty ruined in our area since I posted pictures of her and my friend that she cheated with on Facebook. My daughter and I FaceTime every night before bed and screen share the new movies that come out. I am fairly certain trying to hide money from the court when matters like this pop up is not exactly legal. If for some reason this is actually a legit thing that happened, you are not putting yourself in a good light whatsoever. Cheating does suck and it does bite hard, but one thing that also is bad is making it so that your daughter isn't able to grow up properly and have like a proper household. And yet you're bragging about it because, oh, I moved to Thailand, I can just say what I want now. But with that, that is going to have to be it with the video. If you guys would love to be absolutely amazing, show your support and see more videos like this one in the near future, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below to start up them wholesome internet discussions, and if you guys have not already, subscribe to the channel and turn on them notifications. I'll be sure to see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye!